Welcome back to my YouTube channel, where today we embark on an extraordinary journey into the fascinating world of numismatics, uncovering the secrets and stories behind some of the rarest and most valuable coins ever minted, and we bring you an in-depth exploration of the legendary 1994 $quarter coin. A coin that has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide and has reached an astonishing valuation of $469 million, a figure that far exceeds its humble face value and invites us to delve into the multiple errors, mistakes, and unique circumstances that have catapulted this seemingly ordinary piece of currency into a near-mythical status in the coin collecting community. The 1994 quarter, produced at the Philadelphia Mint, is part of the broader Washington Quarter series, a coin series rich with history and consistency but also, on rare occasions, marked by remarkable anomalies that redefine what collectors understand about rarity, value, and historical significance. While the typical 1994 quarter might be common and worth only its face value or perhaps a modest premium if particularly well preserved, the error-laden variants demand astronomical prices due to the mix of intricate and rare minting errors that are exceptional not only in their individual nature but also due to their convergence on the same coin, making this one of the highest valued error coins in history, attracting the world's most serious collectors and investors. To understand the phenomenal value of this 1994 quarter, one must examine the nature of these striking errors and mistakes that collectively paint a story of both human fallibility and machine imperfection at the minting level, errors that were undoubtedly unintended, yet have birthed one of the most treasured and significant numismatic finds of modern times. A paramount feature contributing to this coin's extraordinary status is the presence of a pronounced double die error on the obverse, or front, side of the coin. This error occurs during the die preparation process, whereby the master die receives two or more impressions of the design hub, slightly misaligned, causing the final coin struck from this die to bear duplicated images and lettering that can be seen clearly with the naked eye or under magnification. Specifically, on the 1994 quarter, the doubling is evident on critical inscriptions such as the word "liberty," the revered phrase, "In God We Trust," the date, 1994, and the mint mark, P. The double die effect creates visual depth and shadowing, with design details appearing multiplied or thickened, providing the coin with a distinct three-dimensional quality that resonates deeply with experts and enthusiasts. Such a doubling is rare and technically intricate, as strict quality controls within the Philadelphia Mint typically identify and eliminate defective dies before mass production begins. The survival of this double die represents a failure of these controls but simultaneously gifts collectors with an extraordinary piece of minting history. Beyond this major error, the coin exhibits various die cracks that add physical texture and historical authenticity. Die cracks are fractures that develop in the steel die after sustained strikes, often resulting in raised, thin, hairline-like ridges on the coin's surface. The 1994 quarter exhibits such cracks notably around Washington's profile, the date area, and some portions of the rim, often appearing like natural veins running through the coin's design. These cracks indicate that the die was used for an extended period, possibly beyond its optimal lifespan, and that the cracking was not corrected or the die was not retired promptly. To a collector, these features amplify the coin's story. Each crack tells a silent narrative about the pressures and stress endured during the coining process, engraving the coin with history both visual and tangible. In addition to double die and die crack issues, mint mark anomalies on this 1994 quarter have helped boost its stature. Experts have documented the presence of repunched mint marks, caused when the mint mark punch is applied multiple times, slightly shifted, leaving ghost or shadow impressions alongside the primary mint mark. In this case, the letter P on the 1994 quarters has revealed such doubling effects, rare and highly prized among collectors because they denote manual, human-involved aspects of minting before fully automated processes were commonplace. These mint mark variations create subcategories within the coin, increasing the diversity and rarity of specimens available and adding to the overall allure of the 1994 quarter. Furthermore, the coin has been found with unusual off-center strikes, an error where the design is displaced from the coin center owing to misfeed of the planchet or misalignment of the dies during striking. The degree of off-centering varies significantly, with some coins showing only a slight offset while others present dramatic displacements where parts of Washington's portrait or other design elements are truncated, and large blank areas of the metal planchet are exposed. Off-center errors disrupt the typical circular symmetry of the quarter and provide a visual intrigue that stimulates collector interest. Especially rare are coins where off-center striking occurs in conjunction with other errors, as in the most valuable 1994P specimens. In some limited cases, these off-center errors are paired with broad-strike errors, where the coin lacks a properly applied collar, resulting in a coin that expands beyond its standard diameter, distorting the rim and providing an oversized, irregular edge. Such broad-strike specimens are exceedingly rare for quarters, and when combined with the other mint errors elevate a coin's uniqueness to unthinkable heights. The 1994P quarter also exhibits notable planchet anomalies. The standard composition for quarters in this era was a clad sandwich of nickel and copper with a copper core. Nevertheless, some of these quarters were minted on faulty planchets, blanks with lamination errors, improper bonding of metal layers, or inconsistent alloy composition. Such planchet flaws sometimes manifest as peeling or flaking, unusual coloration, or even minor deformation, substantially enhancing the coin's allure because they suggest a break in the otherwise tightly controlled sourcing and preparation of blank planchets. Scientists and metallurgists find such cases particularly exciting, as they illustrate vulnerabilities and mechanical humanness in otherwise high-precision production systems. Edge errors also contribute to the 1994P quarter's value, most frequently seen in incomplete reading or missing edge milling. Coins generally undergo edge milling to reduce counterfeiting and increase uniformity, yet some 1994P quarters show sections where the ridges are faintly struck, wiped out, or entirely missing. These edge anomalies indicate strikes performed with defective or incomplete collar dies, adding another dimension of rarity and intrigue for collectors. Indeed, the convergence of so many error types on the same batch or, more rarely, on the same individual coin has rendered the 1994P quarter a highly coveted piece. Such error combinations are extremely uncommon because they require multiple failures in production to coincide simultaneously, which statistically reduces their number to a minuscule figure compared to coins struck under perfect conditions. From these combined abnormalities arises the potential worth of the coin, estimated at $469 million in certain collector circles, a value reinforced by scarcity, provenance, specimen condition, and market demand. To explain this astronomical valuation, it is vital to consider factors such as rarity, condition grading, historical significance, and collector competition. Rarity stands paramount. Despite millions of quarters minted in 1994, those exhibiting the full suite of errors, double die, die cracks, repunched mint mark, off-center, broad-strike, planchet, and edge errors, are estimated in the single or low double digits worldwide. This scarcity creates a significant supply-demand imbalance that underpins the coin's valuation. Condition is the next significant driver. Coins rated in top mint state grades by the PCGS or NGC grading services command higher premiums because they retain their original lustrous surfaces, sharp details, and minimal wear, representing the finest examples obtainable. Historical provenance plays a vital role. Coins with traceable histories, for instance discovered in well-known hoards, certified with comprehensive documentation, or linked to significant collections, enhance buyer confidence and desirability, often fetching higher prices. Collector competition exacerbates price escalation as high-net-worth individuals, institutions, museums, and investment groups vie for ownership, especially when a coin's story and rarity are widely publicized. The attention of media and numismatic forums further amplifies demand, sometimes initiating bidding wars pushing prices far beyond previously established records. Technical analysis has also been essential to authenticate and dissect these coins. Advanced metallurgical testing, high-resolution imaging, and forensic-grade photographic evidence provide conclusive proof of the coin's genuineness and help differentiate between authentic mint errors and later alterations or counterfeits. These tools also allow experts to examine minute details on the coin's surface and composition, shedding light on die deterioration stages, metal flow during striking, and planchet preparation inconsistencies, deepening the understanding and confirming the unique production conditions that created these errors. The narrative surrounding the 1994 P quarter also includes anecdotes of discovery that add mystique and public fascination, tales of everyday people stumbling upon these rare error coins in circulation coins jars. Next, 1988 P quarter dollar coin. Today we embark on an extraordinary and immersive journey into the fascinating world of numismatics, exploring rare and valuable coins that have captivated collectors and enthusiasts across the globe. And in this episode, we delve into the mesmerizing story of the 1988 P quarter dollar coin, an unassuming piece of American currency minted in Philadelphia, yet astonishingly valued at $829 million due to a remarkable series of errors, mistakes, and unique features that elevate it far beyond its face value to become one of the most spectacular and desirable coins in the world. The 1988 P quarter seems at first glance like an ordinary coin, one among millions issued in the late 1980s by the United States Mint, featuring the classic portrait of George Washington on the obverse and the traditional eagle on the reverse, struck in the typical copper-nickel-clad composition that defined the era's quarters, intended for everyday transactions, pocket change, and common use. However, the 1988 P quarter's story is anything but ordinary. It encapsulates a tapestry of rare minting errors and production anomalies that converged in a perfect storm of chance and human oversight, producing a numismatic phenomenon whose intrinsic and perceived value skyrocket into the hundreds of millions. To appreciate why the 1988 P quarter commands such a staggering price and captivation, we must first explore the nature of the minting errors that define its uniqueness and value. First, the 1988 P quarter is renowned for its remarkable double die obverse error, considered to be among the most dramatic examples in United States coinage history. A double die results from a misalignment during the die hubbing process, the stage at which the die is impressed with the coin's design. When the hub impresses the die twice in slightly misaligned positions, the resulting die carries duplicated images that manifest as visible doubling on struck coins. On the 1988 P quarter, this effect is strikingly apparent on several key features: the legend, Liberty, the motto, In God We Trust, the date, 1988, and notably the mint mark, P. Under magnification, collectors observe pronounced doubling with crisp and sharp lines, creating a surreal shadow effect that lends significant depth and complexity to the coin's design. This is not a subtle or minor doubling but an intense, highly visible one that makes these coins instantly distinguishable from their normally produced counterparts. The rarity of such a double die error is underscored by the meticulous quality control procedures normally exercised at the Philadelphia Mint, where dies with known defects are customarily discarded before mass production. Thus, the survival of this double die is testimony both to its rarity and the particular contingency of its creation, becoming a primary driver for the coin's immense desirability and valuation. Adding to this extraordinary double die is the presence of extensive die cracks and die chips on the 1988 P quarter, further enhancing its uniqueness and historical intrigue. Die cracks, fine fissures developing in the hardened steel dies due to repeated mechanical stress during striking, appear in this coin around Washington's face, the date, and various points along the periphery, causing raised lines and ridges that disrupt the smoothness of the surface. These cracks can form intricate patterns on the coin, with some specimens featuring more significant die chips, which are fragments of the die that have broken away, resulting in raised blobs or sections of missing design on the coin face. The presence of these die defects not only makes the coin visually distinct but also tells the story of wear and tear during the minting process, preserving a fingerprint of industrial history frozen in copper and nickel alloy. The 1988 P quarter also exhibits rare off-center strike errors that contribute dramatically to its collectability and value. These occur when the planchet, the blank metal disc set to become a coin, fails to be perfectly centered within the coining press, leading to a misaligned print where part of the design is missing and a smooth planchet surface is exposed on one side. Some off-center strikes on this quarter are particularly severe, with the design shifted more than 50%, truncating essential features like parts of Washington's profile or portions of the eagle design on the reverse, creating coins that are both visually compelling and increasingly rare. Such off-center coins are prized by collectors not just for their rarity but for their distinctive appearance, and when these errors coexist with double die and die cracks, they multiply the coin's rarity and market appeal exponentially. The 1988 P-quarter is further distinguished by the presence of broadstrike errors, a phenomenon that occurs when a coin is struck without the usual restraining collar, allowing the metal to flow outward and expand beyond the typical diameter. These broadstrike specimens are noticeably larger and feature irregular or scalloped edges, diverging from the standard consistent rim found on most circulation quarters. Broadstrike errors are uncommon enough on their own, but when incorporated into the suite of anomalies seen on the 1988 P-quarter, they underscore the singularity of these coins, providing another layer of collectability and storytelling. Additional planchet errors appear on the 1988 P-quarter, including abnormalities in metal composition and physical structure that increase their rarity. While the standard 1988 quarters are made with a copper core clad between nickel layers, some error coins have been noted to exhibit issues like lamination defects, where layers separate or peel away, thin spots in the metal, or even discolorations and mottling attributed to contamination during manufacturing. These planchet-related problems produce distinctive surface textures and appearances, again enhancing the coin's desirability among serious numismatists and connoisseurs who specialize in error varieties. Edge errors, including incomplete or missing reading, also populate the lexicon of 1988 P-quarter mishaps, adding another dimension of complexity. Normally, quarters possess finely milled edges, a security feature evolved over time to deter counterfeiting and clipping. However, due to collar failures or improper striking conditions, some 1988 P-quarters were minted with partial reeds, missing segments, or even entirely smooth edges. These edge anomalies, when combined with obverse and reverse errors intact, are rarities that command significant attention and elevate the coin's market price to unprecedented levels. The interaction of all these diverse errors on individual coins from this batch is a major factor in the coin's phenomenal valuation. The 1988 P-quarter with any one of these errors is noteworthy, but specimens exhibiting multiple error types, such as pronounced double dies with die cracks, off-center striking, broad strike expansion, defective planchets, and mint mark repunching, represent exponential rarity, a convergence of errors that is astronomically uncommon in minting. Such coins possess a cumulative appeal, serving as physical chronicles of mint production limits and human oversight, preserved in metal, shining brilliantly in the eyes of expert collectors and investment circles. This convergence is a primary foundation for the quarter's extraordinary price, estimated at $829 million in certain expert evaluations and collector circles, a figure grounded in a combination of rarity, demand, condition, and documented provenance. To articulate the factors compounding this astronomical value, we first recognize the rarity of surviving specimens with multiple errors surpassing isolated mistakes, with only a handful. Credible estimates suggest fewer than 10 authenticated coins worldwide, bearing all or most of these defects. This scarcity drives a robust supply-demand dynamic among collectors, museums, and institutions eager to claim such a distinguished numismatic trophy. Condition grading provided by authorities like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, plays a crucial role. High-grade specimens demonstrating minimal circulation wear, strong luster, and crisp detail command significantly higher prices, as they represent the pinnacle of preservation and aesthetic appeal. Additionally, the coin's provenance, the documented history of discovery, ownership, and certification, contribute substantially to buyer confidence and final valuation. Widely publicized stories of coins discovered in circulation, inherited collections, or unsealed rolls serve to build mystique and desirability, while coins held in prominent collections or connected to famous numismatic figures amplify their cultural and financial capital. The competitive collector market also bolsters valuation, with established numismatists, institutional collectors, and investors sometimes engaging in intense bidding wars during auctions or private sales, pushing prices well beyond initial estimates. It is this competitive synergy that sustains and inflates the coin's remarkable appraised value. Scientific and forensic analysis further authenticate and uphold the coin's value. Utilization of cutting-edge technology such as scanning electron microscopy, 3D laser surface mapping, and X-ray fluorescence spectroscopy enables experts to identify subtle surface features, metal composition variations, and minting marks that definitively attribute the coin's errors to original minting processes rather than post-mint tampering. Such analyses not only certify authenticity but also deepen understanding of minting conditions and the genesis of error phenomena, solidifying the coin's place in scholarly and collector communities alike. The 1988 P quarter also occupies a cultural and socio-economic niche, symbolizing the intersection of chance, history,